Annyeonghaseyo. Hi everyone, this is Ariel, one half of Soju for Two, and this is a tips for moving to Korea, living in Korea video that I wish I had when I moved here. So I want to give you guys some tips, hopefully in under 5 minutes. If you have any questions, as always, leave them below. So the first thing, trash in Korea. If you're coming from the States like I did, we don't separate our trash other than recycling and obvious recycling in the States. Here you're going to do a lot more. You're going to have food trash, which has like a little yellow bag, regular trash, which could be a blue bag or a white bag that you can buy at 7-Eleven near your house, and then you also have many types of recycling. You can recycle almost everything in Korea, so unless it's obvious trash, then you should probably be separating it and putting it out. And you can definitely ask either your co-teachers or your landlady, landlord about the specifics for your area, and it's definitely very important. I've heard of a lot of foreigners who get yelled at or some sort of problem because of trash, so it's definitely an issue here. Next thing is if you're coming straight from the States and you're not an F4 visa holder, then you're going to have to wait a month for phone and bank and things like that until you get your ARC card or your alien registration card. So while you're waiting, I would do some sort of get some information about what would be the best bank for you. If you're anything like me and you want to make transfers to American bank accounts, make sure that the bank has an English system set up online for you to do online transfers. Online transfers are much easier than doing it in the location because you can do it right from your computer at work and things like that. So definitely check out that. Check out whether or not they have a lot of locations, especially in places where you're going to be going. I use Shinhan Bank and I love it. They're really, really helpful, and their online system for transfers is great, super efficient, and there's a very low fee. So check that out. Bills. So find out how much all of your maintenance fees, all of those things are going to be every month, so you know, so you like not one month is going to surprise you. And check if your name is on the bill, if it's your apartment, and if it's definitely your bill, not the person before you. When I first got here, I was paying the bill of the person before me for a little while before I even realized. So definitely check and maybe take your bills to your co-teacher and have her look at them, or have her or him look at them and make sure that they're definitely your bills. Also, dining. So when you get to Korea, you're going to obviously need to eat. So things that are polite in Korea, and I can make a whole other video about this, but definitely you can sort of say, if they're not coming to your table, you can say, "Yo," which means like come here. There's usually a call button on your table, and you pay your bill at the counter, usually not at the table. You also don't need to tip. So just a couple different things for you. And remember, 2 hands for most everything in Korea. Next thing is Subway. If you don't have a cell phone for your first month here, then you're going to need to check in the subways for how you're getting around in Korea. You can also check online for online maps, for subway maps. But when you get to the subway, you need a T-Money card. So right when you get out of the airport, I recommend buying a T-Money card. You can either buy them from convenience stores like 7-Eleven here, or you can buy them from a vending machine. They have T-Money vending machines at many of the stations. So buy a T-Money card, put at least Man Won, which is 10,000 won, onto the card. That'll get you to a few places your first couple days. And also when you're in the subway, check transfer locations. In every subway, along the ground in front of the doors, there's going to be numbers. Check those numbers because they're going to help you make a transfer quicker. If you need any information about that, let me know and I can tell you down here. But definitely check out, once you get the app for Jihaechul, it's going to really help you navigate the subways, so you'll be able to use them all the time. There are also Korean bus maps apps, but usually those are in Korean, so they might be a little difficult to navigate for your first few weeks here until you start learning more Korean. I mentioned T-Money. The next is laundry. When you get here, if your laundry machine, if the person before you hasn't like written out explanations for how to use your laundry machine, ask your co-teacher and have her write it down for you so that all of the different buttons and dials are explained so you don't make any big mistakes. And also have her write down the name for detergent. One of my friends was telling me that she was using laundry like fabric softener for a long time as detergent because she didn't realize that it wasn't detergent. So check that out before you make your purchases. Have your co-teacher write it down for you. Hair, find a hair salon that you want to go to. There's lots of English-speaking hair shops, but I would say that I've had better luck in salons where it's not like specifically English. It's usually cheaper, and just take a picture of what you want. You shouldn't have too many problems. The next is mail. You can give your address and things like that to your friends and family back home, but make sure there's usually two types of addresses in Seoul. There's the one that's on your ARC card, which you're going to be your official, and then there's the ones that everyone knows. Because they did sort of a change to the system here a few years ago, and there's like the practical one, and then there's like the official one. So ask your coworkers or co-teacher for the one that's easier for people to send things to you and for deliveries to make. Will they be able to find you easily? Uh, Next, check about TV. For example, I have a television and I watch it rarely, so because of that, I've decided to not use my cable anymore and just use my laptop. So if you're paying a cable bill, if it's a package or something, and you can eliminate that cost, I recommend it. If you like watching Korean television and you're an English speaker, there's lots of websites that you can watch Korean television for free on the internet. So again, if you need help finding them or if you have questions, let me know down here. And the last thing is shopping. When you get to Korea, you're going to want to do a lot of shopping. I recommend going to Daiso to buy all of your sort of like little house supplies. If you need forks and Tupperware and things like that. Daiso means here's everything, and literally it's just a dollar store where there's basically everything. Not really a dollar, from like $1 to like $10, but they have like under bed storage, plates, all of those utensils, things you're going to need for your apartment. So you're going to want Daiso. But also don't fall into the trap of touristy areas like Myeongdong and things like that when you go shopping. You don't need to spend full price on most things. Usually you can buy it closer to home for cheaper. So look around a little bit. It may seem challenging at first to be making purchases in non-English speaking shops, but usually they're much more expensive. As far as buying shoes and clothing, if you're in the sort of Korean size range, I would say for women it's for American sizes, probably from 0 to about an 8, 10. You should have no problem buying Korean styles, and they're much cheaper. In places like underground bus terminal or things like that. But remember, a lot of things are going to be free size and you can't try them on. So be prepared for that. And you definitely can't return as well. But also keep in mind that shoes and things like that you can try, and they're much cheaper if you buy them on like a side street, Myeongdong, as opposed to buying them in like the main shops. So keep these things in mind. If you have questions, please let me know down here. These are just some tips, helpful information that I wish I had when I moved here. Okay, bye everyone.